My name is Serge Kona. I go to Duquesne University. I was born in Washington, D.C., and went to high school, Gettysburg, high school. And I'm going to be a senior. I play safety. And a little bit about me. I'm the last of 6 children. I have 4 brothers, 1 sister. What else? I actually grew up playing basketball, and I fell into football probably my freshman year of high school, and that's when I first started. I didn't really have any big scholarships coming out of high school. I didn't really play too much safety. I was actually playing linebacker, receiver. I played all types of different positions: punt return, kick return. I was a big piece of my high school team. So they didn't really, have any room for me to be playing my actual position. I had to sort of play where they needed me at the time. So, it wasn't until my junior year, last year, I started playing safety for the first time, and, it turned out pretty well. It's truly an honor. Like I said, I'm the last of 6. When I talk to my family, and I talk to my mom and my dad, I look at my dad's eyes, I look at my mom's eyes, and I see hope. That's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me going. And my dad tells me, it's ironic that they moved me to safety, because now being the last, child in the family, I'm sort of like the safety of the family. That's what my dad tells me. And, I try so hard just to be, the best that I can be all that I can be. To be named with those guys is more than satisfying to me. To be accomplishing all this, that means the world to me right now. Just the fact that I can, prove that everybody that didn't recruit me, everybody that said I was too short, too small, that I can do, it means a lot. Well, like I said, I didn't really have, any scholarship coming out of high school or any Division I, scholarships coming out of high school, so I always played, with a chip on my shoulder. That's been how I played since I've been here ever since day one. I think you could probably even tell, watch any film, I played, probably 110%, whether I'm at linebacker, punt return, kick return. It's always going to be a big collision somewhere, even if I'm doing the wrong thing, but that's something I always try to do is, give my max amount of effort, regardless of, the circumstances, how much time is left, who's up, who's down. That's one thing, I try to do is lead by example and, try to bring that intensity, to the defensive side, because it's usually our side that gets, the game riled up and the offense rolling, so, if we could get things rolling on the defensive side, our offense would definitely get things going, especially with Larry and Sean, those guys are explosive too, so I like to do, most of the talking, most of the big plays and things like that on the defensive side first. It's a lot. I like the most the interception return from Sacred Heart. Our defense hasn't really scored in quite a long time. So, when I first got the ball in my hands and that interception, the first thing I was thinking is, I'm not going to go out of bounds. I'm going to try to take it the distance. And I actually took it to the 1, and everybody was saying I should have cut back, but, I was just trying my hardest just to beat them to the corner and make it. And, it actually turned out to be a spectacular play for our offense, because they were struggling throughout the game, so to get them that, bit of field position, was great for us at that point in time. Well, I've always, been like, I love fish, fish is great for me, my grandmother, we're actually from Campbell, my family, so they always cook like a lot of, seafood and things like that, so I've always been a fan of fish, and that's also, plays a big part, to my diet during the season, so I always try to get a lot of those and my meat and potatoes. Even on the field, they always say, you look good, you play good, that's how I like to approach, I like to, make sure that, when I'm going to class, I feel good, you know, in case we got a test or something or anything, you know, just to have that mindset, you know, makes me, you know, think that, you know, I'm probably even going to have a psychological age or whatever, you know, it may be, you know, so I like to wear, you know, I'm a big fan of Polo, I'm a big fan of Hugo Boss, you know, things, Armani Exchange, you know, I'm a big fan of a lot of the big name brands, so, you know, I can't really pick one to be particular, you know, but when I go to class, I usually probably wear most of my football gear, to be honest. But on the weekends and stuff, I try to show out a little more with the fashionable stuff. Well, Duquesne is actually a pretty small campus, you know, and I think it fits well for me, you know, being that, you know, it's such a small campus in Pittsburgh, you know, and it also has, you know, Pitt University, which is like a mile away, and then, you know, the Heinz Field Stadium where Steelers are, it's not too far away, you know, so, you know, Duquesne being right here, we don't really get too much attention, and you know, it sort of fuels us, you know, to pick things up and to be better, you know, even though we went 9-2, we felt as though, you know, we can do better, you know, us just being in such a football environment, you know, at all times, you know, there's always, you know, that need to you know, compete with those other teams and to make sure that we're known and everybody is respects us as well in the city. Like, all of my brothers actually play football, you know, so I had a brother that went to Brown, he played football there. I had a deaf brother played at Gallaudet, and I had another brother that had a scholarship to go to Villanova. I had another brother that had a scholarship to go to UConn, but he actually played at Shepherd University. You know, I think it's me and him, you know, that hits the most actually, because he played, you know, he's like probably like 25, I want to say, and you know, he played more recently, and so he always tries to give me pointers and tips and stuff like that, you know, because we played the same position. All my other brothers were offensive players, you know, but me and him, you know, we sort of always butt heads, and we always like go at it when it comes to, you know, things about being a defensive back and how you're supposed to approach the game and, you know, the type of player you're supposed to be, you know, so that you know, all those guys really have an impact on how I play, and you know, I take a little bit from their game and try to incorporate it in my own. Well, I could bring up one time, you know, I know, you know, a big safety that was in our conference last year, Jose Gums, you know, he's a very talented player. He got picked up by the Saints section, and you know, it was the week we played them, you know, Mama last year, and our running backs coach Stansfield, he was giving me hell all week, just talking about we're going against the best safety in the conference. You know, he was like, "It's Jose Gums. You know, what are you gonna do? This, that, and the third." And I was sitting there like, you know, it was boiling, you know, under my skin, you know, the entire week. So, you know, when we went into that game, you know, it was freezing. It was probably like, I want to say below zero. And, you know, all I could think about was Coach Stansfield in the back of my head. And, you know, he was like, as soon as we got into the game, he was like, "Yeah, there's our boy right there." He was like, "That's the best safety in the conference." And you know, we went out there and actually ended up shutting them out. You know, it was 0-16, and I ended up with 3 forced fumbles that game. So it was ironic, you know, that he, you know, had said that, and you know, I came out and played the way I did, you know, because I really had so much built up because of that, you know, and I actually got a chance to shut him up at the end of the game. But you know, it was funny. It was funny for a good week till we got to play Sacred Heart the following week. Well, our stadium is called the Bluff, you know, and you know, so when we go in there, we really try our best to, you know, take advantage of what we had there and try to make people, you know, really intimidated, especially on the defensive side. You know, we have a thing that, you know, we call our defense bird game. You know, and it's something that I started, you know, when I first got here 4 years ago, or 3 years ago. And, you know, it's basically our motto, you know, we have to fly around, you know, fly to the football as a unit. And you know, we definitely, over the years, have picked up on that and take that to heart. You know, every time we say it, we mean it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it shows, you know, special teams. It shows on defense, you know, being the number one pass defense in the nation, you know, and it's definitely something that we want to keep on going, you know, because it definitely has a positive effect on the incoming freshmen, and they buy into it, you know, and they buy into it and they're ready. You know, they know what to expect, and they know, we know what to expect from them, you know, because if they see us flying around and giving it our all 110% out there, you know, they want to go out there and be a part of that, you know, so that's what we do. We just call it the Bird Gang. Well, I played basketball since I was like in first grade. You know, I actually thought I was going to be, you know, one of the big stars in basketball up until about 10th grade when I stopped growing. You know? So I'm pretty sure that's almost the case with a lot of people. But you know, I played basketball. My name is Serge Kona. I play for Duquesne University, and you know, my message to my teammates would be, you know, we have a mission this year, you know, and that's we all have the same mission, the same goal, and we're gonna work hard to get to that. And nobody's ever really going to have to worry about, you know, us being, you know, too passive or too, you know, not ready for the moment. You know, this is our year, being my last year. You know, this feels like, you know, it's all in. You know, you have to put all your marbles in one basket. And you know, that's what we're ready to do. That's what we're willing to do. And we're looking forward to the challenge this year.